live. And look, Kevin shrunk and he grew hair. No, this is Max. Max is with me tonight because as we sat down to get ready to go live tonight, Kevin got a call from work. So he's on call tonight. So he had to go. So Max is filling in.
The usual substitute, Katie, she's not here because she's hanging out with a friend.
Yeah.
So
she went to a hockey game.
You got me.
Woo! Hi, Alicia. So we just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update. Some of you may know, some of you may not. Kevin fell, and we had temperatures that were like, what was it, 7 below zero, and with the wind chill of -30. And so Kevin fell, hit his head,
hurt his back,
was in the hospital. Now it's a little different because technically he was in 2 separate hospitals.
Yeah.
And he was 5 hours in one, 7 hours in another one. Now, that being said, people are like, oh my gosh, that's a long time. But you have to understand that when we went into the emergency room, they said that they had 50 people that day that had head injuries from slipping on the ice. And then there were a bunch of others with sprains and breaks and things like that. So yeah, Wednesday we spent most of the day, turn it down, most of the day in the emergency room with Kevin. He is doing better now. He did have a concussion. He had a sprained neck. He had tingling in his fingers, which he still kind of has that, so he's going to have to go back and, but they did an MRI on him. He doesn't have any, any issues with his spine. He doesn't have any pinched nerves, anything like that, so they're not sure exactly what's causing that, but he is doing better. He is on call tonight, so he may pop in here at the very end. But yeah, so that was kind of our week. So we want to just thank you for all the prayers that went out for him. That it was scary, just, you know, for me, because every family has that thing that scares them. And you know, when I was about 22, I had a friend who actually fell backward from her own height and hit her head and went into a coma, and she never came out of it. So I'm one of those people, like any kind of head injury, I'm like, ah! So but he's doing well. He's doing well. He's getting better. He still has a little bit of like stiffness in the neck. He sometimes still has a little bit of a headache, but he's been taking it easy and is doing well. So like I said, thank you for all your prayers and stuff like that. You need to refresh that because we need to see who's coming in. As they say thing. I know I saw Alicia. I saw Virginia come in, and Drew is here. So thank you guys for joining us. No, you just hit the refresh button there.
Oh,
so
yeah. Sure.
That way we can see, and you can see it on your thing.
Boink.
Boink. So, but anyway, so today though, we spent most of our morning and our afternoon at Where Max.
Merit Badge Challenge. If you guys don't know what Merit Badge Challenge is, it's a thing that we have yearly where it's an event that helps us get our merit badges.
For what?
For our Eagle rank.
He's a Boy Scout.
Yes,
so,
I know. I just said that.
You didn't say Boy Scout.
Hey,
so.
I'm a Boy Scout.
Hi, Arlene.
But you can get there's easily over 100 merit badges that you can choose from. But this week we were working on this time around I'm working on getting all my Eagle merit badges. It's better to get all those out of the way before
Daryl from Two Family Homestead is here too. Hi, Daryl.
Hi.
So, but yeah, so you were working on your communications.
Yeah, I had to write a speech for that one.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
There are two different, I mean, I don't know if this is different or not, but I mean, speaking in front of people on a stage and singing in front of people on a stage is just kind of different to me. And, I mean, I had to speak in front of some people today, but I was, like, worried. I was like, oh, it's going to be crappy, and I'm gonna get a partial on it. And then Dad was like, well, somebody else might come up with something that's crappy. And I'm like, yeah.
No, what he said was he was telling him, because Max was really concerned about this. The speech had to be 5 minutes. Yeah. And, you know, when you're first learning how to do that, like, you just want to get it done.
Yes.
And so he was running through it real fast. And what his dad said is, make sure your speech has good content. Mm-hmm. Because you can have a speech that's 5 minutes and is not any good. But if you have a speech that is 4 minutes and what was it, like 37 seconds, yeah, that has good content in it, then you're great. And then he did a trick that like actually made his speech longer, which was kind of cool.
I was at 4 minutes
Cat Lover,
and 37 seconds, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna ask people if they have any questions, and everybody raised their hand, and I'm like, well, rock and roll. I didn't think this would actually work. But there's some guys there, and they're like, oh, we had to do a speech today. And I'm like, yes. And
Did you not read the booklet?
They literally just got up there and talked about, like, stuff, like, just nothing, literally nothing. And, like, there's a kid who almost fell asleep because it was so boring. There's me and one other kid, and we had actually done our work. And
you were the only two that did your work?
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Did they?
They're getting partials.
Oh well, there we go. So.
Which, I mean, that's, if you guys don't know what a partial is, when it comes to Boy Scouts, a partial is where they'll give you a blue card and it says what you did for that merit badge and what you need to do for that merit badge. So, yeah.
So you're doing communications,
and
cooking. I thought you were doing salesmanship.
I have two. There are 3 sessions. 2 sessions are that I'm doing are cooking, and that is an Eagle required merit badge. And the lady there, she kind of acts as if somebody pooped in her Cheerios.
Be nice, man.
And well, she does, but
it's not like cooking
she
with
had
mom, huh?
no, it's not. She had she did
Hi,
give
Alice.
us some good advice. So
Drewby says it's always great to conquer your fear. Great practice for the future. Public speaking is one of the most common fears, so you're not alone in that.
Yeah.
So
thank you, by the way, Cat Lover. And the worst part is, I know I am.
Yeah. So he was working on those. Miles is working on game design, salesmanship, and crime prevention. And then Jack is doing cooking and salesmanship, I believe, are the 2 that he's doing this time around. So yeah, so I spent all day. His Boy Scout troop doesn't do like selling the popcorn, selling the wreaths, things like that. Their biggest fundraisers, actually, they set up booths at like
Merit Badge Challenge. We do dinners for veterans.
Yeah.
Which
you donate. People donate to. And then this one is like they'll sell like hot dogs and chips and drinks and just stuff like that to raise funds for his troop. And it has worked really well.
It goes into an account that the Scout has, and it's called a Scout account. Yeah, because that's self-explanatory. And the Scout account allows you to buy anything Scout related, which you can go to the Scout store, and you can, like if you need a new Class A, you can get a new Class A.
But Class A is their shirt.
Yeah, it's your uniform.
Yeah.
If you need a merit badge workbook, you can go and get a merit badge.
It can help pay for camp.
Yes,
like summer camp and stuff like that.
So summer camp is like $300 and something.
Yeah. So we're going to move on now. And we're going to talk about kitchen stuff. So I have been trying to keep on a schedule of putting videos out. So the videos that you see are actually a couple weeks in advance. So around Christmas time, I tried to do a lot of videos because what I was finding is that I would get behind and there would be like 3 weeks where I didn't do any videos. So we're trying to schedule them. You'll see them come out on Wednesdays and Saturdays is how we do ours. But I had been doing something new, and I was inspired by Tangi over at Freedom Homestead. She had a video on making sandwich bread, and like the problem I've always had with sandwich bread is that, and she specified it in her video, is that it'll dry out and your bread will crumble on you as you're eating your sandwich. So I took her recipe, and now she has a very specific loaf pan that she used, and I would like to get one because it looks really cool and it's bigger too. So like I'm having to bake 2 or 3 smaller loaves at a time, and hers is much bigger. So I think it's a Pullman bread pan, and it has like a lid on the top, so it makes like the square bread. And hers has some wheat flour in it, and I don't have any wheat flour, and I've done it all white flour or bread flour in that recipe, and it has turned out wonderful. So you should probably go check her out. It's Freedom Homestead, and it's her sandwich bread recipe. It is wonderful. It works so well. The other thing that we wanted to just kind of give you a heads up to, and you guys have heard us talk about them before, but we love recipe archaeology. These ladies are hysterical, and they do a lot of recipes from like back in the day, a lot of
60s, 50s,
20s, a lot of things with Jell-O, because I mean, I remember my mom saying, like, you would go to a church picnic and there was Jell-O everywhere all the time. So.
Like the reason, I think
Donna.
the main reason Jell-O isn't.
Why don't we not have our chat up? Hold on.
I know. It's just.
That.
I mean.
Okay, you keep.
I think the main reason why Jell-O, the Jell-O company is still operational, I guess, is first because of me, because I love Jell-O, and
I don't like Jell-O.
Second, because of the 50s and 60s era, where there was a ton of like people who ate Jell-O encased in everything. Like I'm talking hot dogs encased in Jell-O, coffee in Jell-O.
Oh yeah, they did a recipe where it's coffee.
Salad in Jell-O.
Yeah, they did like turkey in Jell-O. And these are actual recipes. So if you're not subscribed to them, you need to go over there and watch some of their videos, because Christine and Stephanie are absolutely hilarious. But I did send them a recipe though, because my mother-in-law gave me one that was called cottage cheese roast. And I just sent it to them. I'm like, I don't know how old this recipe is, but the weirdness factor of this is right up your alley. So I thought, I'm like, they might enjoy this one. So, hold on a second. I'm going to try to.
I mean, that meatloaf, vegetarian loaf was not that bad.
It wasn't. It was okay. It was something that, it was okay. I guess we're not vegetarians, so that's kind of like not our thing.
I have a friend who's a vegetarian, and I asked her, I'm like, so why are you vegetarian? And she's like, because I don't like the texture of meat. She's like, I want to be a vegan. And I'm like, you do know that means you can't have anything cake related unless it's like vegan cake. And then since she likes, one of her favorite foods is cake. So I was like, you won't be able to have that. And she's like, I don't think I want to be a vegan.
Well, and more power to people who do want to be vegans. I mean, we don't have any problem with that. We just are not. So, all right. So we've got, there we go. We've got our stuff up now. Okay. So, hi, Amy T. Okay, so tonight's show may not be very long. Like I said, I've been up since like 5 o'clock this morning with the boys getting everything set up. But we're going to talk about our garden now. And right now we're getting ready to start some seeds. So hopefully tomorrow I'm going to start getting like some of my cold crops ready. I'm thinking about doing, I want to do cabbage. We're talking about doing some kale. I'm not sure if we're going to do broccoli, because my thing is like, for the amount of broccoli that my family eats, I don't have enough yard to plant that much broccoli. Yes. So I'm going to be starting some cabbage tomorrow, and I think I might do a video on that, just showing you, like, I have a little starter kit. It has a grow light and it has a heat pad on it, and I found that since I used that last year, now if I can keep the cat away from it, because the cat keeps eating my plants.
He eats the plants.
He eats the plants.
Like, it's as if he's waiting for the vulnerable moment when that lid is lifted off, that little greenhouse is lifted off, to pounce right on the plants.
He dug every one of them out. Like, I was so mad.
You leave it for only like 3 minutes or 1.
You go to get water and come back and he's eating all of them.
Yeah, and he's eating all of them.
Which is, for a cat as portly as he is, for him to be able to move that fast, that surprises me.
The type of cat he is, it's actually normal for him to eat as much as he does, but he is pretty obese.
We found that out because Jack is doing a compare and contrast essay. He's comparing and contrasting cats and dogs. Well, he found out that yellow striped cats, he's a mackerel tabby, they are genetically disposed to be heavier eaters. They like to eat more than other cats. So that's why when you see...
And they're more prone to heart attacks.
The striped yellow cats, a lot of times they're fatter than the other cats are. So I'm going to be, probably tomorrow after church, I'm going to try to start my cabbage seeds, and I'm going to show you how I do that. And then we'll just kind of move on from there, because we kind of have to wait with some certain things, because we're hopefully having another tree taken down in our backyard. We have a tree that every time it ices, it scares me, because it's got branches that are like falling off left and right, and they're hollow in the middle.
You can hear it creak, like the way that we had one that was out in the front. We have one in the back. You can hear the tree creak whenever there's like a big windstorm, and it's kind of scary, because you're like, please don't fall on me, because that would hurt a lot.
Donna Terry's moving to Kentucky. Congratulations, Donna.
You can come visit us.
Well, she lives in Blanchester right now. Yeah, it's a while. But no, she's moving to Kentucky.
You can come visit us either way.
Well, congratulations, Donna. That's awesome. And then Cat Lover says, I'm with you. We have a small yard that I can garden, and the 2 cats eat any plants. Oh my gosh. It's so incredibly frustrating. So, so we're going to get started on that. And I have a question for people who are gardeners out there, because I am relatively new to starting seeds. The first 2 years I did it was epic fail. And last year, just the little kit that I got has made it a lot easier to start seeds. My seeds don't get, my seedlings don't get leggy. I wonder if there's anybody out there who's ever started onions from seed, because I have onion seeds and I've never started them from seed. And we have, let me think, our onions the last 2 years have done horrible. The squirrels dug all of my, like, I got the little, like, onion sets, the little bulbs.
They'll take the onion and they'll eat it, find out they don't like it, and then make the same mistake over and over and over and over again. Because their brain is extremely small.
Yes.
So
you have to laugh at Gina. Oh my gosh. We have to laugh at them, because it's just, it is their nature to dig things up and eat it, and we can't stop that. But if anyone has ever started onions from seed, can you let me know like how hard that is? Because I have them, and I just don't know. I've never done it before. So make sure that I'm not missing anything there. But we're going to hopefully, like I said, have the tree taken down, and then that way it'll open up more room in the yard for us to do more garden beds. So we're probably looking at, you know, things are going to be planted later. Actually, the newer garden beds might be put in to do fall crops. So we'll just kind of see how that goes. I probably would do, like I said, my tomatoes and my cucumbers did really well in the straw bales. Peppers, not so much.
Yeah.
But I think I would totally plant in those again. So we're going to just, like I said, we're just going to kind of play it by ear and see how it goes. And I've been watching Prepstetter Bob's videos on super soil and taking, that's almost like taking a college class. Because he's just got so much information, and so I've been writing it down. But I'm doing good so far, like with the type of stuff that we're putting in our beds.
Did you take a botany class when you were in college?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
So when I was in college, I was getting a degree in youth ministry. Botany is not real important in that. So, yeah.
Youth ministry.
Yeah. So anyway, but that is kind of our garden update and what's going on. So I have a little, we're going to start a little section in here, and I've been having questions come up in the comments of our videos. And I thought I would just answer them here because I've had quite a few of them. So, and I'll tell you like who the person was that, you know, asked the question and everything. So this question was from Grandma D, and she said, can you show or do a video on how to get 4 meals out of 1 chicken? And my answer to that, and I did answer these people, but I'm answering them here too in case somebody else has this question. Yes, and I've already done them.
You did?
And they're coming. Actually, I think all of them are out now. So we did the chicken and dumplings, chicken tacos, and then I did 2 pans of chicken cordon bleu. So that's 4 meals.
Yeah, that was all out of 1 chicken.
And I made chicken stock out of the whole chicken that I picked the meat off of. So not only did I get 4 meals, but I got, let me see here, 2, 3, and we've used probably 5 of them.
Yeah.
So
and she also got beef.
No, that didn't come from those chickens.
That didn't come from those chickens.
So right here is our turkey stock, and then if you look here, this one is our chicken stock. Now we've already used up about, what did I say, 5 of them already? So, because I go through that a lot. So I got 8 jars of chicken stock out of a chicken, and then that aluminum pan makes it very handy when we have to put whole lots of cookies for someplace in something. Or whatever.
When do we have to do that?
Well, you never know when you have friends over. But anyway, so the next question that I got is from Nightingale 10. She said, could you use the bones again to make more broth after the broth you made from the chicken and dumplings? So she watched where I made the chicken and dumplings, and she saw, I don't know if I made it in that video, but I talked about making the broth. Now, here's something that I did not know. You can reuse chicken bones and make
up to 5 times.
Nope. More broth out of it. You can use chicken bones up to 3 times. You can use beef bones up to 12. I didn't know that.
And like she's just been throwing them away. Like
I have been.
Use them again.
Yeah. So and a lot of times, like the beef is the more expensive one. You know, if you, because sometimes you can't just find like soup bones. Sometimes you have to buy like maybe like the short ribs or something like that.
Yeah.
And so you can use it up to 12 times. So I found this information. It's from olordy.com, and it talks about you can do them, just kind of fish them out. You can, you know, keep using them, and you use them until they start to get soft and, you know, want to start disintegrating, and then you just get rid of them. So who knew? I didn't know. Yeah. Learn something new every day. Really excited about that. So
because you don't want disintegrated bones.
No, you don't. So this question is from my friends Patrick and Crystal at PNC Atkinson. They asked, the boys had a video that they did. They're doing science with the Batty boys, where I just kind of give them the camera and let them do their thing. Yep. And they were asking, where in the world did you get the magnetic putty? And so you can get that on Amazon. Or VAT19 is another place you can get it.
VAT19.com is a they do their branding throughout through YouTube, and YouTube is a way that they get their business out there.
Yeah.
But they're purveyors of curiously awesome products. Not only do they have magnetic putty, they have other stuff. They have
world's largest gummy bear.
The world's largest sucker. Yeah. It's huge.
Okay, so you guys will think this is funny. They have a candle that when you first start burning it smells like apple pie, and then when you get down a little lower, it smells like a giant fart. So,
and your victims will be vigorously searching for the stench that smells like doo-doo. And little will they know that is that apple-scented candle that they got from their brother-in-law or sister-in-law or brother or sister.
Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, so VAT19, yeah, Alicia, that you can get it there. So Margaret Bedwell, which she's on here all the time and comments on a lot of our videos, she asked me what made the magnetic putty magnetic. It has iron powder in it, and so that's what does it. I think he's actually going to run and get it, and we'll show you how it works. It is kind of cool. It really is. So the other question is, and this was on the video that just came out. Oh wait, hold on. I might have another one. Heather, it is a little over half an acre. Oh, awesome. So did you get the magnetic putty? Is that where you went to get?
No, Gina was whining at the door, and I got one of the boys.
Why don't you go find the magnetic putty and we'll show them how it works.
Okay.
So.
Be right back.
Okay. So, all right. So this question came from My Revival and Susan Richards. So I made DIY cornstarch. She needs to go potty. Yeah. Not cornstarch. Sorry, I got too much going on here. Your like DIY taco seasoning, and I had Susan over at My Revival and Laura asked me, why do I put the cornstarch in it? Now I know with Susan, like she's on the keto diet, so she probably can't have like corn products. Oh, he doesn't know where it is. Okay. But the reason I put cornstarch in my my taco seasoning is it helps kind of thicken it up just a bit, because you do have to put like for me, I put a little bit of water in my my meat to help kind of steam it, and then for the spices to kind of all mix together, and that cornstarch helps it to hold together just a little bit. So it doesn't fall off your taco. Now, if you're not one that wants to use cornstarch, or like I said, you're on a diet that you can't have it, you can totally admit it. It won't stick together quite as well as, say, if it was in there. So, let's see. The other question I got is from a new subscriber, relatively new, which is Zaire Dawn. I hope I'm saying that right. But she was asking me if Thrive Life food was good for weight loss, or is it good for diabetics? And I would say yes, because it is very easy to control the portions. You don't have to, you know, especially if it's just you, or it's, you know, there's only 2 of you, you don't have to cook a whole chicken. You can just use a serving amount and make it. As far as, you know, for diabetics, you know, as a diabetic, you will always have to read labels. And the good thing is that, you know, when I'm using the chopped onions, it's just onions. When I'm using the celery, it's just celery. The blueberries are just blueberries. Now, every once in a while, like a fruit will have something extra in it. Like I think the apples have citric acid in it to keep them from turning, and the bananas may also. But for the most part, there's not anything extra added to that. You know, like some of, now, the only thing that might be a little different is like your bechamel sauce, stuff like that. You'll have to read the labels carefully on those, but those are all on the website. You can see them. You know, you don't have...
That type of stuff is more for when you're like kind of rushing out the door and you need to make something.
Yeah. Or if you're like tiny house prepper where they don't have the room for everything. In fact, when Bill came to visit us, he was so kind and he gifted us with their freezer because they really didn't have the room for it. And that has been great for us. But, you know, they live, if you guys don't know who they are, they live in a 25-foot trailer. It may not even be that big. but like a travel trailer. That's their home. And so Thrive is all that they use. Now, for us, it's different because we use it in multiple different ways. Like you'll see it sometimes I'll use it with fresh meat and I'll make like chicken and dumplings, or you'll see me use it in the chicken stock I make, or you know, you'll see me, I made apple crisp one time with it where I used Thrive apples, but then I used our own oats. Speaking of oats, we made granola and this entire thing was full, and it's not, and my kids have eaten 2 of these. Now I have to tell you, granola in this house makes everyone super gassy. And there have been times I've walked into the living room and I've been like, so it has, yeah. But this is good. And I believe I do have a video. It's an earlier video on me making granola, but we might have to do an updated one or something.
Yeah.
For those of you that asked, keep an eye out because our updated bagel video is coming out soon, like within the next few weeks. So those were the questions that I had just from, like I said, as they've been coming up on our my brain's not working. Comments, yeah. I've just been taking note of them and making sure that I'm answering here, because these people can't be the only ones that are thinking, hey, I wonder. So are there any questions there for me? Okay.
If you guys do have any questions, put it in all caps so we can see it.
Oh, Drew said, I tried the breakfast bake and it was perfect in my situation. Awesome. Awesome. So, hi, Adeline. So anyway, like I said, we're kind of breezing through pretty quickly right now. We're only like half hour in. All right, we're going to talk about our favorite things. So, this is not mine, but it kind of saved my rear end the other day. This is Max's. So,
do not be mistaken. This is not lip gloss.
It's not mascara. This is called a Halo. And
it's a Halo portable charger.
It's a portable charger.
You plug your phone in right here and right here. And it's also a flashlight.
Yeah.
And it also has a strobe setting.
Yeah, so like if you're in trouble,
yeah, if you're in trouble, you can use strobe
But
setting.
this was funny because Max had this at my mom's house and he had his iPhone plugged into it, but my mom was like, why do you have your phone plugged into mascara?
Yeah, I have so many people that are like, do you wear mascara? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not a weirdo.
So when I was at the hospital, I didn't have like the actual plug. So Max gave me this, and I mean, and it was only like, it has like little lights here. I don't know if it'll light up, but there's there's 4 little tiny lights here, and they'll light up and show you. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, see those little lights? It'll tell you how much power you have. So it's got 2. Now it's been on 2 all day long. I charged it today when we were over at the Merit Badge Challenge. I charged my phone with this. This worked great when I was at the hospital. Each one of our kids who have a device have one of these. And so that way if they're out and about, their phone can stay charged. So this is really cool. This is one of my favorite things. So, and it, like I said, it's called a Halo, and it's from besthalo.com is where it came from. This was something my mother-in-law gave the kids, and I believe this is probably something you can find on QVC because she does a lot of her Christmas shopping there, and find some. That's one of the things. Like, I'm not a big like shopping network watcher, but she has found some really kind of cool stuff on there. So let's see. It says Thrive doesn't work in humid pantries. In those cases, I would maybe put them in jars and then vacuum seal them, because I could see that maybe being an issue with some of the food like that. And I know people who've done that. They've either put them in like in the vacuum seal bags, or now we're in Ohio and it can get relatively humid here. We haven't had an issue so far, but yeah. Yeah. So, but that is my favorite thing, because this thing can be a little lifesaver when you need your phone to charge, and because especially when you're at the hospital with somebody and everyone's wanting updates and details and stuff like that. This is really good. So, all right, Max, what's your favorite thing?
All right, guys, this particular thing had won the Golden Geek Award of 2014. It's a game called Splendor.
This game was introduced to us by my brother. My younger brother is really really into different board strategy games. Now, we played Settlers of Catan with him, and I just can't get into that one. Like, that is just that is just one of those games that it's so long. But Splendor is not nearly as long. It's a lot of fun. There is strategy to it, but here's the thing. My youngest has beat the pants off of my husband now 3 times in this game, so he loves it.
So good. And, like, I'm just sitting here trying to figure things out, but it's like, how are you winning?
Yeah. All right, I'm sorry, Amy. I talked about this at the beginning. Kevin Wednesday, he fell and he hit his head. We had some really bad, like, sub-zero temperatures, and he was at work and he slipped and fell and hit his head. And so he had to go to the hospital. He has a concussion and he sprained his neck. So that's what I was talking about. He is actually out on a call right now, so he's doing better. And for all the people who were praying for him, we just really appreciate that. So, but like I said, that's what. And I'm sorry. Hopefully everyone's caught up and everyone got to hear. But
I have a question.
It says, why do you make money being how do you make money being an affiliate? What I was thinking about getting into that. Okay, so Cat Lover, that is a question that I'm the more the cooking end of it. Kevin is more the business end of it. And I will, if you want, send him an email over at info.goinbatty.com. And he will answer those questions for you. He's much better at it than I am. Like I said, I'm just the pretty face that cooks the food. Well, it depends on how long of a day I've had if I'm the pretty face. So, just if you send him an email, he can totally answer those questions for you. Let's see.
I haven't watched you for a long time. How's Kevin? Dad is doing good.
Yeah.
In the beginning, we did say he's out and working. He did take a couple days off to get himself situated, so he's not. I don't think he's feeling as much pain anymore, and I think his neck's still a little stiff, but
yeah.
He's not. His head doesn't hurt or anything. But he's out and about, and he's
he's doing his thing. So, but yeah. So that is. Hey, Margaret, I wanted to tell you, I answered a question of yours on here. You had a question about what makes the magnetic putty magnetic, so I answered that question. It has iron dust in it, so.
Iron filings.
Well, it's more like dust, because when I think filings, I think of, like, bigger pieces and stuff, but anyway. That's pretty much our show. We don't have, unless Max wants to dance for you. You want to dance?
This is how my mom
dance with you.
This is how my mom dances.
So,
and this is how my dad dances.
He doesn't dance.
He don't dance.
And I do that. Well, that's not true.
I don't dance around people.
That's not true, because
I don't like dancing around people.
I have video of you.
Wait, did you post it on some?
Yeah, it was actually when we built our flower beds last year. Our garden beds. If you look at the video of where we built our garden beds, he was dancing in Walmart.
Oh yeah.
And it is hilarious.
I mean, the thing is it takes a lot to embarrass me, because I've got nothing to lose. I mean, you can embarrass me as long as you want. All you're doing is wasting your time. I will embarrass you more than you will embarrass me.
Please do not put that challenge out there, son. So, yeah. So that's pretty much our show. If you guys have any questions for us, for Max about Boy Scouts, or, any like cooking questions, I can answer those. My daughter just came home and she's got a bag of hockey stuff, it looks like. So she went to a hockey game.
Did she get a hockey puck?
I don't know. And then went and saw Aquaman. So she said it was pretty cool.
So that was why she was asking so many Aquaman related questions.
Okay, so we had Bonnie Dixon. She says, please pray for my husband. He's had 3 seizures last weekend. Oops, sorry. He's planning on preaching tomorrow. Yes, Bonnie, we will pray for him. Oh, and that reminds me. We have a sweet viewer that she's just the kindest lady ever. Her name is Sharon. She goes by Bama Grits on here. You'll see her sometimes. And she is having some health issues right now. And I'm not going to go into detail of what it is. But if you are a praying person, please pray for her. She needs it. She, like I said, is just an incredible woman. She's been so encouraging to Kevin and I and to our family. She's, you know, she's good friends with Patrick and Crystal, like I said, over at PNC Atkinson. You see her on a lot of people's chats. Just please, please be praying for her because she's got some health issues going on. So, let's see here. Oh, and yeah, and Elizabeth over at Tiny House Prepper, she just lost her mom too. So be praying for Bill and Elizabeth. And they are, we've met them. Bill has stayed at our house. And I just, it's amazing how you meet people through this thing called YouTube. And, you know, you hear sometimes of people and, you know, horror stories and stuff like, we have never experienced that. We have only ever experienced genuineness and kindness and stuff like that. And so, you know, meeting Bill and Elizabeth and meeting,
Big family,
you know,
Homesteading.
yeah, well, and Patrick and Crystal, they live in Oklahoma. We would have never.
Yeah.
And they opened their house up to us as we were traveling down because we went through the town that they live in.
If you guys, if you are watching, if you guys ever happen to come through Ohio, you've got a place to stay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I keep trying to get Crystal to, you know, come up here. But they, honestly, there's not really any reason for them to come this way because, you know, there's no family this way. So,
if you want to come up for a bowl of Skyline chili.
Yeah. So, all right. If there's any other things that you guys would like to share, you know, any questions, like I said, that you have for me or Max or whatever, we'll be happy to answer them.
We'll try.
We'll try. Let's see. Hold on, Margaret. I shared your chicken cordon bleu recipe with several of my friends and had it for lunch yesterday, and she loved it. Oh, awesome. Yeah, that one is like super easy to do.
Yeah,
it is super easy.
It's really good. If you make like a big batch of it too, it'll last a long time.
Yeah. And I know like
because it's extremely filling and it has like stuffing in it.
Yeah.
And it's hence the name stuffing. It stuffs you. So it'll last long and you'll have leftovers for the next day, so you won't have to worry about lunch.
Okay, so City Homestead. We are in Ohio, so I'm not sure what area you're from, but Skyline Chili is actually Cincinnati style chili.
Oh, City Homestead.
And so
it's the best bowl of chili you'll ever have.
Now, we say that, but here's the thing. You either love it or you don't. Skyline chili it's more like a...
And if you don't, there's a lovely salad option.
There is, that's true. It is more of almost like a meat sauce as compared to like maybe a Texas chili that has big chunks of meat and vegetables and stuff like that. And no, not the Indiana Grandma, honey, Donna. That's different person. But so it's more like a meat sauce, and you have it different ways. So like a 2-way is, and this is how we eat Skyline chili, is you have spaghetti under it, and then you just have the chili sauce.
Yeah.
And then 3-way is spaghetti, chili, cheese. 4-way is spaghetti, chili, cheese, and either onions or beans. And 5-way is spaghetti, chili, cheese, onion, and beans. And there's a place around that is called Blue Ash Chili that they make it. They have a 6-way that they top it with what they call jalapeno bottle caps, where it's deep fried breaded jalapenos.
So good.
So yeah, so that's what that is. So But yeah, oh, he's from Michigan, so.
Yeah. When we used to live in Maryland, there was a chili cook-off for the high school students.
My husband was in youth
Everybody
ministry
just brought chili, and I'm like, where's the spaghetti? And like, Mom brought spaghetti with Skyline, and she's learned how to make Skyline chili, and it is really good.
I won the chili cook-off because my chili was the only one that had directions on how you had to make it. Let's see, what makes it unique? It has cinnamon and cocoa powder in it. It has allspice in it. So that's what it has. From what I understand, Cincinnati chili comes from like one of the first restaurants that opened up with it. It's actually Empress, I think, was and it was two brothers, and they had they came from like the Mediterranean area. There's a lot of kind of almost Greek influence in the taste that comes from that chili.
Yeah.
So
I guess Skyline chili and Blue Ash chili and Gold Star, they all really taste almost exactly the same, except they're just different places. It's all Cincinnati style chili, and it's really good. It's really good food.
So I mean, most people, like, if you say around here, if you say Skyline, they understand it is Cincinnati style chili. So
thank you, cat lover. That's very nice of you. Your Skyway sounds like
Steak and Shake here in Illinois. It's not. We've had
Steak and Shake here is you only get a steak burger. Like they have chili. They have sandwiches and they have sandwiches and they have like salads and chili and stuff. But their main specialty here is like shakes.
Yeah. And
they're so good.
Every time I go to Steak and Shake, though, something tragic seems to happen. Like okay, so literally the last time that I've been was when Miles was about 3 years old, and he's 11 now. And the reason is that we were there, and he went into the bathroom, and he fell and he hit his head.
Yeah,
and he split his head open. And so if you know anything about, if you get a cut on your head, it bleeds profusely.
I mean, I see my little brother coming out with like
I got paper towels,
a paper towel, and like blood dripping down his head. I'm like, boy, this is literally the 4th time you've been to the emergency room this year.
Miles had a stint of unfortunate events that kind of happened.
Dislocated his elbow, and then he got stitches, and then he got
stitches here, and then he cut his eye here, and then it was crazy.
I don't like talking about my medical problems.
It's not medical problems. It was just a series of unfortunate events. So, it has been, So, I mean, I just totally lost my train of thought. We were talking about the glories of Skyline chili. So, but anyway, are there any more questions? Let's see. Please make a video. I actually already have a video on Cincinnati style chili. So if you go into our playlist, there's the Goin Batty Kitchen. If you just scroll down through that, you'll find it. It's probably somewhere more towards beginning, middle-ish. Yeah. Like if you're looking at stuff like from our older, if you go from it's more towards our older videos. So I have done a video on that. So let's see. Oh, hi, Bandana Grandma. So,
as I said earlier in the video, Dad is doing great. He's out on call right now. He's
He's on a call.
He's on a call.
He has a little bit of a headache. He still has a little bit of a stiff neck, but he is doing better, and we do appreciate all the prayers that have gone out for him. So, let's see. I think that's probably it.
Yeah.
So, so I guess
we can close this in prayer.
You want to close this in prayer? Make sure you pray for Sharon, and then for, where was it? Oh shoot, his is not a touch screen.
It's not a touch screen.
I think it was Bonnie, was it? Right. Yeah, Bonnie's husband who's been having seizures.
And Elizabeth too.
Oh yes, yeah. So make sure. Let me find it. I think it's up here.
There's like
Bonnie. Yes, Bonnie.
and,
So for Bonnie's husband, for Sharon, and for Elizabeth. Okay. All right. So we're gonna pray real quick, and if that's not your thing, that's totally fine. We'll say goodnight to you, and yeah, go ahead next.
Yeah. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day. I'm glad that we all, these wonderful people, were able to come on and watch this goofy thing that we do every Saturday. I pray for Bonnie,
For her husband.
And
the seizures.
And Elizabeth for her mom, and that's just brutal. And
Pray for Sharon.
And Sharon. Thank you for all these people. Thank you for the community that we built around YouTube. And bless us throughout our week. In your name I pray.
Amen. All right, guys, we are going to get off here. We're probably going to go to bed early. Like I said, we've had a really early day and a kind of a weird week. So
I'm going to bed early?
Well, I don't know. You may
it's
not.
Saturday